皆さん、こんにちは。Today we're going to learn one of the most commonly used expressions, と思います in formal speech and と思う in informal speech. The expression is often translated as I think or I believe, and Japanese speakers use this expression almost every day to express our thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and or speculations. In this video, we're going to explore its grammar points and learn how native Japanese speakers use this expression. We've got some quizzes at the end of the video, so please try them to see if you got the hang of what we've covered today. Let's get started. First, we have this phrase, Shiro speaks Japanese, which in Japanese is Shiro wa Nihongo o hanashimasu. Now imagine you know that Shiro lived in Japan for many years, but you've never actually seen her speaking Japanese. In this case, you might want to say, I think Shiro speaks Japanese. To do so, we change the sentence that describes your thoughts or speculation to a short form. In this example, the sentence ends with hanashimasu, which is a verb in its polite form. Now remember, the short form of a verb is its dictionary form. So the short form sentence is Shiro wa Nihongo o hanasu. And then we add to omoimasu, which means I think. So the sentence I think Shiro speaks Japanese is Shiro wa Nihongo o hanasu to omoimasu. Shiro wa Nihongo o hanasu to omoimasu. Please note that it's essential to use the short form sentence before と思います。So, シロは日本語を話しますと思います is incorrect. Next, we have this phrase, シロ is busy, which in Japanese is シロは忙しいです。Now let's say you don't have direct knowledge of her being busy, but you've heard that she's been busy recently. In this case, you'd rather say, I think Shiro is busy. So we'll change the speculation sentence to a short form. In this example, the sentence ends with 忙しいです, which is an e adjective in its polite form. To make the short form of e adjective, we simply drop the です. So the short form sentence is シロは忙しい. And then we add と思います. So I think Shiro is busy is シロは忙しいと思います. シロは忙しいと思います. Next, we have the phrase シロ likes anime, which in Japanese is シロはアニメが好きです. Now, how do we say, I think Shiro likes anime? So again, we'll change the speculation sentence to the short form. In this example, the sentence ends with 好きです, which is a na adjective in its polite form. To make the short form of na adjectives, we replace です with だ. So the short form sentence is シロはアニメが好きだ. And then we add と思います. So, I think Shiro likes anime is シロはアニメが好きだと思います. シロはアニメが好きだと思います. Next, we have this phrase, This is Shiro's purse, which in Japanese is これはシロの財布です. Now, how do we say, I think this is Shiro's purse? Again, we'll change the speculation sentence to the short form. This time the sentence ends with 財布です, which is a noun in its polite form. To make the short form of nouns, we replace です with だ, just like na adjectives. So the short form sentence is これはシロの財布だ. And then we add と思います. So I think this is Shiro's purse is これはシロの財布だと思います. これはシロの財布だと思います. Now, let's take a look at some examples and useful phrases. Let's consider a scenario where you're making some plans, and while you can't say for certain, you believe that the plan will succeed. In this case, you'd say, I think this plan will succeed. この計画は成功すると思います。この計画は成功すると思います。Please note that the informal or casual expression would be この計画は成功すると思う。この計画は成功すると思う。Next, let's say someone told you some ideas, and you want to express your opinion that you think it's a good idea. In this case, you'd say, I think it's a good idea. いい考えだと思います。いい考えだと思います。Next, imagine you're browsing an online store and see a super good deal on a purse from a high-end brand, but you suspect it's fake. In this case, you would say, I don't think this is authentic. The direct translation would be, これは本物だと思いません。But it's more common to say, これは本物じゃないと思います。Both sentences are grammatically correct, but これは本物じゃないと思います sounds like you're indirectly expressing your doubt about the authenticity, compared to これは本物だと思いません, which sounds more like a direct and straightforward expression of your doubt. So, これは本物じゃないと思います is generally preferred in situations where politeness and indirectness are valued. Next, let's say you see someone trying to tell Luke something, but you want to express that you have a feeling that Luke doesn't know about the secret. So you would say, I don't think Luke knows about the secret. ルークはその秘密を知らないと思います。ルークはその秘密を知らないと思います。Next, you found something and want to ask what other people think what this is. In this case, you'd say, What do you think this is? これは何だと思いますか? これは何だと思いますか? Lastly, you heard about a news and want to know other people's opinions on this topic. In this case, you'd say, What do you think about this news? このニュースについてどう思いますか? このニュースについてどう思いますか? Notice that something について means about something or regarding something. This is commonly used, especially in formal settings, when discussing serious topics like politics, environmental issues, and so on. So in casual settings, or when the news is not something you'd discuss seriously, you can simply say, このニュースどう思う? このニュースどう思う? Now it's time for some quizzes. Which is correct for I think I'll go to the concert? コンサートに行きますと思います or コンサートに行くと思います The correct answer is コンサートに行くと思います Remember that the word before と思います must be in its short form. Which is correct for I think this test is easy. このテストは簡単と思います or このテストは簡単だと思います The correct answer is このテストは簡単だと思います Remember that the short form of not adjective ends with だ Which is the informal speech for I think it's weird 変だと思う or 変だと思います The correct answer is 変だと思う Can you say, I don't think the teacher is married? There are two ways to express the same thing, but one of them is more commonly used than the other. The more common answer is 先生は結婚してないと思います。先生は結婚してないと思います。Can you say, what do you think about Japanese culture? We learned both formal and informal expressions, but let's say you're asking this question in a formal setting. As a small hint, culture is 文化。The answer is 日本の文化についてどう思いますか？日本の文化についてどう思いますか？ Today you learned the expression と思います。Thank you for watching. ありがとうございます。